Welcome to Two Roads Crossing, a podcast production of the Christian Veterinary Mission. Do you wonder how your faith fits together with your profession? Well, join us as we explore how to live well at the intersection of two roads crossing.
Welcome to Two Roads Crossing. I'm your host, Curtis Gibbs. Just a podcast that focuses on the intersection of faith and veterinary medicine. We're so glad you're joining us today for this pod. And today we're on the road with Dr. Paulsen and Charlotte and Dan Paulsen, who serve as field workers in Romania. Paulsen's, welcome to the podcast.
Good to be here, Curtis.
Thank you.
So you guys are kind of here on a furlough. We love to get the stories of our field workers, but before we hear about what you're currently doing, give us a little snapshot about your history with CVM, a little bit of your vet career before this moment.
Well, I joined Christian Veterinary Fellowship when it was separate from CVM back in the in 76, I believe, at Kansas State University when it first started. And after that, went into practice, and then I went back and got my PhD, and we ended up on faculty at LSU, and I was a faculty mentor there for 6 years for Christian Veterinary Fellowship. And then we went to Mississippi and kept involved with the students, back to LSU, kept involved with the students. Both those places already had good established faculty mentors, so we let them do it. But then with CVM, obviously the two merged shortly after I had been in college, and with CVM, we really got involved with them after God called us to go to missions, and came up to a short course in Seattle, and got involved and ended up in Romania.
How about that? From Baton Rouge to Romania, right? Or somewhere.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about how did you, and maybe each of you, how did you know you were, called is kind of a loaded term, but how did you know you were kind of felt led to go to the mission field to be field workers? I mean, that's quite a, you didn't just wake up one day and say, we're moving to Romania, right? So what was that process? How did you know that was the Lord's voice?
Well, apparently I wasn't good enough at hearing the still small voice, so he used actually an audible voice with me.
How about that?
So It was an unmistakable calling, And I was fretting about my retirement account and when I'd be able to retire, and and I thought it was looking like about 80, that I could retire for without running out of money, and he just spoke with an audible voice, said, "Don't worry, you're going to be on the mission field. You have plenty." Just like that. It's just like, oh.
Wow.
And I told my wife, and my wife said, "What?"
Yeah, Charlotte, take us into that a little bit. When Dan mentions that he heard from God, did you think, that was just some bad gumbo, or what's going on there?
I believed him. I trusted him. We'd been doing short-term missions for 20 years to Romania. So we'd gone to Timișoara and Sibiu 15, 17 times. And we all
real relationships
love
there
for the country. Yeah, we'd already built relationships there. We'd been going, for years, our church had sent a mission team to the Deborah House as a home for abused girls in Timișoara. So we were familiar enough. It didn't scare us too much to think about going and living there. So
she had a new grandbaby.
It's hard to go right then. But then COVID happened, and that gave us a chance to prepare and have time with family, get ready to go. And God really amazed us, just provided all the support we needed. It was like, it's time to go.
Wow. I mean,
It's
that's beautiful
remarkable.
though, because that's not
Yeah.
easy. I mean, I think you love family, you don't want to be away from them, but you feel called. I mean, how have y'all managed the tension there? Okay, you kind of heart is in two places. How have you navigated that?
Um, God's helped us. We have three daughters, and our oldest daughter has two little boys, and we video call every weekend
That's
to keep in
awesome.
touch with
Yeah.
them. And for us, I come back at least every 6 months to spend some time. And we've kept our house in Baton Rouge, so we have a home base to come back to. So it's being able to video call has made a big difference, I think.
Yeah.
Well, and for you guys, I mean, some
Mhm.
people do different things, but I like that you guys have a home and a home base that feels like home when you come
Mhm.
back. And so God really did provide the ability.
Right.
You
He
know,
really
it's funny.
did.
It's like God, I know it sounds strange to say, well, God provided, but God
Yeah.
provided. Like you
Yeah,
can,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then he called, the way he called me, our choice was to go or rebel, I always say. I
Wow.
mean, it
Yeah.
was such a clear call. I mean, it's the only time in my life that's happened. That was very startling. And, but it was, so we're going to rebel. And the only question is who we going with, where are we going, and, yeah, so that
There's
was a
got to be
process.
an assurance in that call, though, right? I mean, doesn't that give you confidence the way God
Oh
called
yeah,
you?
yeah. It
Yeah.
wasn't.
Mhm.
I had no question about it. And then it was not on our plans. Charlotte says we were very contented serial short-term missionaries.
Which can be a beautiful thing, but
I
God
know,
had other
and
plans
Good,
for
good
you. Yeah.
preparation.
it shows you the value of short-term missions too, I think. Yeah. I mean,
Oh, yeah, that's
I,
a
Mhm.
good.
I think there's great value in short-term missions,
Mhm.
to get out there, see something, see what God can do. And it's been very valuable for us because our mission didn't start off the way we thought it would go, and we're kind of used to that, you know. Once in a while on a short-term mission, you sort of do what you thought you would do, but most of the time it's not the
It's
same,
sort of get there and then it's turn
and you
left.
get
Yeah.
done and it was really great, and it wasn't much of what you planned to do, so it's just learning that walk, that trust, and confidence in God that he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, there's the one of our short-term directors used to say, Semper Gumby was our theme, always be flexible, like
Yeah,
the Marine
yeah,
Semper Fi.
right.
But that's such a beautiful thing too, as difficult as that can be, especially in a profession that has a lot of go-getters, got a lot of type A'ers, a lot of, people that are
Right.
used to being in charge. It makes you rely on God, the ultimate one who's in charge, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
so when plans don't go, you kind of go, wait a minute, God's good and He's got us, and you see Him provide. Well, bring us up to speed then. Here we are in Romania. You guys have been there for how long, and kind of give us a little bit of what you're doing now.
Well, we've been there for 3 years now. Yeah.
In
And
in Eastern Romania, in Iași.
yeah, so we're right against the Republic of Moldova, and it's about
Right.
100 miles north or south, you get to Ukraine. So we're there's two borders of Ukraine with Romania, and
Gotcha.
and we have Ukrainians, we have small groups and Ukrainians in our small group, but that's probably getting ahead. We uh, we went with a established missionary who's there with the Vaunt Ministries, Chip Jakob, and with him we've been doing a lot of work. Uh, Not only will travel throughout Romania and visit veterinarians and visit the veterinary students at the universities, but we do a lot of local ministry in the villages there. And so Yash is a fairly modern city. And as soon as you leave the Yash and the greater Yash area, you go back to almost third world. So people in the villages, most of them probably have electricity, but not all. most of them don't have running water,
Mm.
and they heat strictly and cook over wood. And so it's just a hard life. And a lot of them still use horse and wagon. And so um, yeah, it's just a real drastic difference between the city and the
I mean, that's
rural.
almost like time travel, as far as development goes. It's like you're
Right,
leaving a
right,
developed area that's maybe slowly growing out developmentally, but it's going to take a
yeah,
while. And yeah.
right. And then you just go back in history, 100 years all of a sudden. And so, yeah, there's a lot of opportunities there. We work with a children's ministry down in one of the villages, and we also Chip has some farmland there, and we he got the vision, and we help a lot to grow sweet corn for evangelism. So the Romanians eat basically field corn, which they got to cook forever, and it still tastes, slightly better than cardboard.
Yeah, sure.
So,
Sure.
and we give them sweet corn. We get the seed from America and grow the sweet corn. Soil is very rich around Yash, so the sweet corn is fantastic, and we give that to them, and their eyes just bug out of their head, and it's like, where has this been all my life?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah.
That expression on their face. And then we share the gospel with them. So, and it happens various ways. We're starting to get a network of pastors we send it to, and they have the vision to go out, and you can just set up pots in a village and people will come. You know, you know how small town America is. Well, it's the same way. Something
Sure.
starts happening downtown, everybody hears about it in about
So, yeah, it will be word of
and
mouth, word of whatever.
yeah. And then it's just an opportunity to share the gospel, and lots going to camps. We sent them to refugee camps in Ukraine and everything like that too.
Mm.
So that ministry is really going. And then we have helped get started the Association of Christian Veterinarians in Romania, and it's off to a good start. We got a good set of young um, officers who have good vision and are determined, and we're getting kind of steady growth, and which
That's
is
beautiful. That's almost like an affiliate group's like almost like a CVM Romania in a way, right? To help people
yeah, it is, and
understand.
it is an
Yeah, yeah,
affiliate. It is
yeah.
with CVM, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And
It,
Dan's an advisor.
Yeah, I'm the official advisor on the board of directors, but
there you go.
I try
Well,
to understand what they're saying in Romanian and
well, and Dan, God used your training and vet career, but right in the because you're teaching in the university as well, and have a new course you're developing coming out here soon, right?
right, right. And so that's challenging because I'm a pathologist and the course is in ruminant medicine, and so that's a challenge. It's thrown
Sure,
down the
sure.
gauntlet for me there. So
God keeps us just enough on our toes, right? Well, that might
yeah,
be more on your toes. You're a pathologist
I'm
teaching
afraid
ruminant
I'm
medicine in Romania, so that's
getting up
maybe a
my
little more.
tiptoes there. Yeah.
Oh, well,
Uh,
Charlotte, what's the experience been like for you? How's God using you in Romania?
Um, we've really enjoyed our time there, and we're not your typical missionaries. We're right now we're in our 70s, but and it was a lot to leave behind our home and our families and friends and comfort zone that we built for years. But we're really grateful. We're part of two really thriving churches in Yash, a large Romanian church and a smaller international church, and those have become our home and families, our friends there. There's quite a few Americans. We've got good friendships and a lot of native Romanians now.
Mm.
It's been a great opportunity.
Well, the more I interview field workers, the more I realize I don't know that there is a typical field worker. Because we've got single people on the field, we got people with families, we got people, lovely people like you all who have chosen to go in what might be considered by some more of the when you're looking towards retirement, and then all of a sudden here you are. And I think it's just but here, guys, what a legacy it is becoming and will be that you guys are building and using this season of life. And yet God's still allowing you to get home to kids and grandkids and family. Like, God's good,
Yeah, yeah. And another major thing we're doing is we have two small groups that meet. One is Chip has had going for many years, and we have 3 vet students come to that small group, and it meets alternately in his apartment and our home, and then we have a small group with our church that is an English speaking small group technically, but now it's an English and Russian speaking small group because we have Ukrainians there who don't speak English. They do speak Russian. We have some Moldovans and a girl from Kyrgyzstan who speak English very well and Russian. And so we're teaching in English and back and forth in Russian, it's quite a deal. And Charlotte, she's being too modest. She's becoming the cook of Romanian, I think. She she cooks for both of those small groups. She cooks for our international church. Our international church is right in the middle of the medical school dorms, and so we feed students. They come,
Wow.
and we're having a real growth in that little church. So
that sounds like a CVF group here.
Yeah. And so she does a lot of cooking, and
Charlotte, I got to know, are we working with Louisiana recipes, Kansan recipes, Romanian recipes? What's your go-to?
Yes.
It's a mix, and I've done a lot of pasta dishes, and then some jambalaya and some gumbo. Yes,
that's pretty fun.
The right stuff. Yeah.
All right, favorite Romanian dish, or in that realm, favorite Eastern European dish that you've kind of discovered that you like to make?
Sarmales is the little cabbage rolls.
Oh,
that they traditionally fix for weddings and holidays. Cabbage rolls, and Mama Liga is the polenta they put cheese and sour cream on it. So that's the famous Romanian meal is sarmale și Mama Liga.
Yeah. Okay, it's like a pierogi-esque or something like that. Is it kind of like Awesome.
They all have a different version. Yeah.
How cool. Oh, that's so fun. Well, Dan and Charlotte, there's one other project I believe you guys have been here and working on. Can you tell us a little bit more about the project in Romania that you've been working on?
Yeah, we're trying to build the ministry and training center down in the villages where we work with kids and a lot of the other villages. It will be a facility with a fairly large warehouse, which will have a couple meeting/training rooms in it, and an apartment attached to it where Chip and Keisha will live, who are our partners, and we'll run the sweet corn ministry out of it. We distribute clothing and stuff for disasters out of there. We'll have training rooms that we can train the villagers for occupational type of training, and try to give them some way that they can stay in the villages and make a living. So the idea is try to revitalize the villages, revitalize the churches. We'll be able to have fellowships there.
And have veterinary workshops.
We can have veterinary workshops there too, and meetings with the Romanian Veterinary Association, and the board of directors can meet there. So just a big multi-purpose type of facility aimed at ministry.
Yeah, a hub for the whole country, honestly, to serve that region.
Right. And it's not so far from Ukraine. So, I mean, it's possible that it could be a staging area even for Ukraine, delivering supplies to Ukraine once the war is finally over. Yep. Someday it will be over. So
yes, praise the Lord. Let's ask for that too. Yeah. So, well, that's tremendous. And so, it's fun to be in the office. We got to celebrate a little bit of a gift towards that project yesterday that came in. And, I think that's the cool thing about legacy is you guys are building legacy in the service and the things you're doing, and then others who give to it are kind of sewing in and building into a legacy themselves when they are able to give and support a project like this. So tell our listeners, how can they follow what's going on with you from here on? Your prayer letters. How can they donate and or support to the things you guys are doing?
Well, certainly you can go to the cvm.org and find us under long-term missions and get our prayer letters. And I still send one out every month and tell what's going on with us in detail and shoot a few pictures. Thanks to CVM staff who does a good job with those. And then I
shout out to my wife Shannon Gibbs there, by the way. Yeah, she loves reading our letters.
There you go.
With you all. Yep.
And then we can go to the project site and find it's called Ministry and Training Center Project in CVM. So look under special projects, and if you'd want to give towards that or just I don't have a newsletter from that, so it's better to follow with my newsletter if you want to know what's going on. But yeah, that's the site for giving to that project if you Lord lays it on your heart to give. So we always say, do what the Lord says. If it tells you to give, give. If it doesn't tell you to give, don't.
But pray about it. Pray about it.
And yes, cover us with prayer.
Yeah.
Cover us with prayer. We always need that. So
yeah, praying for you all as well, for your family, and just how can we pray for you personally?
I guess give us good health and energy to to finish the work we started. We've been on the field 3 years, and we have 2.5 more years on our visas. So we'll at least try to finish that out and get the building established, operating.
Like you say, legacy, and that's kind of what we consider. Probably was the ministry is going to happen out of that place. Will be one of the big legacies we leave behind. That and the Association of Christian Veterinarians there. So hopefully.
Well, what a beautiful legacy, but what a beautiful chapter right now while you're living it. So we just we love you guys, support you guys. We're excited to hear about it, and here you are at about a midpoint as far as right now, but who knows after that. And just soak up the time with friends and family, and we look forward to maybe having you back on and having you share as progress keeps going. So Dan and Charlotte, just thank you so much for your work and for joining the podcast today.
Thank you for listening to Two Roads Crossing, a podcast production of the Christian Veterinary Mission. If you are blessed by this content, like and subscribe so that you are alerted when new content is released. If you would like more information about CVM, or if you have questions, comments, or topical suggestions, you can find us online at www.cvm.org. Or you can contact us by emailing podcast@cvm.org. God has a plan for the nations, and that plan includes you. We pray that CVM has encouraged you to live out your calling with confidence and competence. So, until next time, may the voice of the shepherd ring loud and clear as you follow him in faith to the intersection of two roads crossing.